Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to Fukuoka. What we're doing today is we're practicing a visual approach in for runway 34 right in Fukuoka. This will culminate into a float down the runway due to well, the right hand seat pilot, the first officer, floating a little bit, maybe a little bit of thrust mismanagement where the captain's going to take over control and we'll conduct a rejected landing, come back around for another visual circuit. So we'll talk a little bit about how I fly a visual circuit in the A321 as we're doing that as well. It should be pretty cool. Coming from Fukuoka from the north, this is a typical sort of visual pattern that they have you do, sort of come over this golf course area here. Just out now, sort of 12:30 position, and then the airport is sitting along here. Now, a few things about how this is depicted in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. First of all, it doesn't have the 3-4 right visuals correct, so you'll see that will be a sort of a wide, long taxiway.
2,500.
Checked. And the other thing that you would have seen me do is I turned off the GPWS terrain as well, because the terrain clearance floor isn't properly depicted through here with the Fenix A321 series either. It's coming through 1,000 feet to go. We're at 240 knots. I'm going to start slowing down. I'm in with the approach phase is active, so I'll go manage speed. The aircraft weights that we're using today, the gross weight is at 70 tons, so we're pretty heavy. Going to have a bit of a tailwind on downwind as well, so we can see how that looks. Now for the visual circuit, what I'm doing is I'm setting my ND to have the rose mode in 10 miles, and then that will give us this 2.5 mile ring as well, which allows us to set up a pretty decent downwind space. You can see that I'm too close to the runway at the moment, so I'm going to widen that out right now and correct that up. And coming into downwind as well, I'm going to start slowing down. So call for flaps 1, speed checked, flaps 1. On the FCU now that we've captured alt, I'm going to set 5,000 feet, so 5,000 blue. Doing that if we had an engine failure, our escape procedures to track out 160 out to a position called Yemek through the valley there to the south. Positioning a bit better, that's not looking too bad, still a little bit close. I'm going to select track. Speeds looking okay. Once we're beam the threshold, I'm going to start our timer. Now we've got 7 knots tailwind behind us at the moment, so we're ideally going to be starting the turn at 38 seconds. Starting the timer, flaps 2, speed checked, flaps 2. Let's start slowing down. Still a little bit tight for the circuit, that's okay, we'll just make some corrections to adjust for that. Call for flight directors off, autopilot off, gear down, speed brake, all our lights are on. And there we go, 38 seconds. Start a turn, so the runway QDM. And I'll also set 4,000 feet for the missed approach. Now, non-standard, because we're going to turn this into a rejected landing, another circuit, I'm going to set the circuit out to 1,600 blue. Just for the simulation purposes. See the glide slope's moving. Coming into the circuit, into the final, I'm going to go flap full. Jack flaps full, landing checklist, ticket memos, landing no blue. Cabin's ready, landing checklist complete. Okay, now one of the nice things about Fukuoka is that the river along here also provides quite a nice extended centerline for runway 34 right. which is quite helpful as well for visual at the moment. 1000 stable, we're on the nicely on the approach path. We're coming around to line up laterally. Our speed is good. We are looking quite stable at the moment. Rate of descent's good. And nicely aligning laterally with the extended center line as well. So at the moment this is looking like quite a nice visual circuit. We'll see what happens with the landing. I'm going to do my best to do a pretty poor landing here. Okay. Nice little path, small little corrections. 500's checked. A little low, correcting. Okay. Let's see if I can simulate a poor landing. Continue. So with this rejected landing, what I'm going to use is the side stick push button, the priority push button, to take full control off the first officer. Ensure that any side stick inputs that they put in are getting cancelled out, that I have full control. Alright, let's go a bit deep. Go idle. I have control. Okay. So I've set max thrust and waiting for the speed to increase. Thrust is increasing. That's looking pretty good. I've still got my button, my finger on the priority push button. Coming up to V up. I'm going to rotate. Okay. Go around flaps. Speed checks. Flaps 3. Positive. Climb. Gear up. Okay. Autopilot on. Start reducing my workload. Going through 400 feet. I'm going to go to climb thrust now. I'm going to select speed. And I'm going to increase the speed as well. Selected speed. I'm going to activate the approach phase. There we go. Manage speed. Flaps 1. Speed check. Flaps 1. Okay. Let's reset this into the position that I want it in, which is there. And I've lost something I wanted as well. Just reset my ND. Oh no, I've lost my ND. That is frustrating. It's really frustrating. Oh, there it is. So you go there, and okay. Yeah, alright, sorry about that. Alright. Heading, let's go into a circuit. I'm going to go heading, track, and there we go, into a circuit. Right now that we're coming back around for another circuit, we'll do the same thing. We're in alt. In case of a missed approach engine failure, we're going to fly down that southern valley. So I've set 5,000 blue. I'm going to brief to the first officer that I'm going to retain control for this landing. That they're going to do the PM engines and also the radios. Don't particularly have time to brief the cabin or speak to the passengers about this. We'll fly in quite a quick visual circuit to come back in. just slightly wide for my comfort with this downwind position, so I'm going to track slightly in as well. 2.5 miles works pretty well, but because we did that turn at 200 knots, the radius of turn for the base and final turn is going to have to be reduced slightly as well. Alright, coming back over the city, we can see the airport at our 10 o'clock position. We're in config 1, 200 knots. What else do we need to do? We need the approach checklist. I'll do this from as much memory as I can think of. So the Barrow ref is QNH1012 and it's been cross-checked. The Barrow minimums is 330. Auto brake is set to low. And the seatbelt signs are on. It's the approach checklist complete. Okay. Alright, to beam the threshold again. Timing, flaps 2, speed check, flaps 2. Gear down. Gears down, auto brake is armed, that's looking pretty good. Flight trips is off, autopilot off. I'm going to set 4,000 for the missed approach. I'm going to set the runway QDM. Flaps, well, hold off on flaps 3 for a second. Yeah, there's the runway QDM. And just arrest that rate of descent. Okay, flaps 3, start the turn. Speed check flaps 3. Now that flaps 3 is going to give us a slight balloon as well, so just going to make sure that that doesn't affect our profile too much. I'm just going to put in just a very slight angular bank here initially, because we're just a little bit wider this time. That glide slope's coming up nicely. Okay, let's tighten up that turn. Flaps full. Speed check flaps full, landing checklist. You can memo landing the blue cabin's ready, landing checklist complete. Okay, turning on to final. Okay, on the glide slope. Turn on, let's keep the rate of descent going. And it's a little bit hard to see where the runway is at the moment, but we'll see it soon. I'm going to shallow that out. Okay, there we go. Yeah, but I'll laugh at it, obviously be able to move my head around the frame there so we can see it properly. Through 1,000, we're stable, nicely on path, speed's good, rate of descent is good, 140 knot ground speed, so we're looking for 700 to 800 feet per minute. And nicely aligned now generally with the extended centerline, slight little corrections to come across to the left just a little bit to the right of the centerline at the moment. 2 reds, 2 whites on the Pappy. 800 feet per minute. 500 checked. Yeah, 700 feet per minute. 100 correct. Continue. Just a little high.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. Drive.
Screw that landing up a bit. Alright. a little high in the pitch angle and just to the right of the centre line as well, which wasn't that desirable. 70 knots, manual brakes. Let's see if I can get, yeah, we're going to vacate this one.
Japan 2201, contact departure.
Japan 3004, runway 32 left at whiskey, runway.
Okay, welcome to Fukuoka. Vacate to the left here. Well, here we go. So that was 2 visual circuits, including a rejected landing in this Japanese city. Thanks everyone for watching.